Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I am your host, Brandis Daniel.
I'm your co-host, Sybil Amuti.
Hey, great girlfriends.
Hey. Brandis, you haven't said welcome in a long time.
Welcome, great girlfriends. Welcome. And if you guys can't hear, I know my voice is raspy anyway, but it's extra raspy right now because I'm dealing with a 4-week cold.
My goodness, Brandis, would you heal already?
I'm telling you.
Seriously.
I'm telling you.
But that's from travel and like ripping and running.
It might be. Might be. I'm hoping that this can
not everyone can do a TEDx, can be on Strahan, can have an HFR IMG show, can have a Google Summit, like in like a matter of 2 weeks, B.
Girl, God isn't he something else?
I'm just saying, if you're a little raspy, you've been talking for 2 weeks straight. He
is something else. I'm telling you. But you know what? You might be that TED Talk. I said that speech so many times, so everybody was sick of it. So that it might still be hoarse from that.
Was it like an Easter speech for you?
It was, girl. And what happened was, let me tell you what happened. The night before we were supposed to do the talk, we had rehearsals, right? And I had kind of been chilling because I've been listening to my speech and kind of practicing a couple times a day to myself, right? Mm-hmm. Girl, I get up there to rehearsal. When I tell you I bombed, forgot a whole big, huge chunk of my speech. Girl, so that night, it was when I was like, oh, I might not go to sleep because I might not have a voice tomorrow. Because I will not stop saying this. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
It worked though.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
No, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it either. Thank you.
Well, just rest your voice because we have a conference coming June 13th through 15th, New York City.
Let me tell you, my voice, I'm going to be so loud for that conference. I will have a full voice. I'm going to be so loud because I'm going to be so excited to see all the great girlfriends. So many people are buying their tickets. So many new women are buying tickets from so many different backgrounds and races and cities and countries.
Yes.
Man, if you want to meet women who are on the same level as you or trying to get on a higher level, like you do not want to miss it. It is one of the best conferences I've ever been to. I don't know if I've been to a better conference just because we go to so many things, Sybil, and it's like, and this is not Great Girlfriends, we don't put down other people's things, but sometimes it's very surface. And I feel like at our conference, people are really honest and vulnerable and open. And so you leave with so many like aha moments.
Yes. And I mean, aha moments, friendships, business opportunities, ideas, Kickstarters, funders. I mean, relatable women on the planet. So I'm just excited because for year 4, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel so good. I'm so excited because most of you have learned that you can get your company to pay for the tickets. Come on, somebody. This is a professional development workshop. So definitely pitch it to your HR department or to your manager director to get them to sponsor your ticket. So that makes it a little easier for those of you who were trying to figure out how to get it paid for. It's professional development. Come on, somebody.
Absolutely.
Conference,
I think last year about a third of our attendees had their companies pay for their tickets. So
they sure did.
Yeah. I don't even think we ever told the Great Girlfriends that. So our bad.
Our bad.
Our bad on that. Yes.
You know what? I'm just excited. GreatGirlfriendsConference.com. I have a little joke for you, Brandis.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, Sybil.
Brandis, I don't like the way you receive my jokes. I feel like you could be more supportive. I'm just saying.
All right, let's see. If it's funny, I will be more supportive.
They are funny. Okay. They come from my children, so whatever.
Well, okay, if they tell them it would be funny, I'd rather hear from Sam or Dylan.
Oh my gosh. What did one hat say to another?
Hats off to you.
Oh my gosh. No, you stay here. I'll go on ahead.
Okay, that one was a little funny.
What do you call a fake noodle?
A fake noodle? Yes. I don't know.
An impasta.
Oh, that's cute. That's actually cute.
What lights up a soccer stadium?
I'm not sure.
A soccer match.
Oh my goodness. And the fact that you got these all back to back is killing me.
What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches?
I don't know.
A nervous wreck.
Oh Lord. Sybil.
Okay,
And,
that's my last one.
and y'all see how she just rattled them off. What is it, Sybil?
What did the lawyer name his daughter?
I don't know.
Sue. All right.
All
I'm
right.
back to being a serious
All right.
note.
That last one was actually kind of cute. All right.
That was so cute.
That was cute.
Why couldn't Dracula's wife get
I'm not doing another one with you. You said the last one
It's
was your
because of
last
his
one.
coffin.
Oh my goodness. Great girlfriends. I just need y'all to write in. If y'all would email us and say, Sybil, no more corny jokes, she'll listen to y'all.
They wouldn't destroy my kids' hearts like that.
They
They
are
wouldn't do
not
that. My kids give me this material.
They are not destroying your kids' hearts.
My kids want to know what's the difference between a guitar and a fish.
I'm not doing this with you.
You can't tune a fish.
I cannot. I'm not doing this with you. I am not. Oh my goodness.
What are we talking about today? What's going on?
So we had someone who is very dear to us recommend a book to us. And that book has been so good. And it's basically the premise of the book is stop second guessing yourself. When you have something like, when you have a thought or an idea or whatever, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just get it done.
Yeah.
The book is called The 5-Second Rule. And the book is called The 5-Second Rule, and it's by Mel Robbins. And it's just been so good. Every time I bought it on Audible, and I love listening to it. Maybe we'll have her on the show at some point. But this episode is about telling the great girlfriends to just stop second guessing yourself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when it came to second guessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I came up, I'm not much older than many of you, but some of y'all may be. And I came up in the age where you had to go to college and get accreditation for anything that you wanted to accomplish. And then once you were certified, then it was okay for you to pursue things that were outside of a box. And that included entrepreneurship. If you were an entrepreneur, it was because you were certified as a plumber, or you were certified as an accountant, or you were certified as this. And I work in creative industries, so it was very difficult for me to not want to pursue certification to qualify me for certain things that I knew in my heart I was tasked to do.
Right.
So I just want to go ahead and acknowledge my own personal guilt. I don't do it anymore, but I was definitely guilty and sabotaged myself for many years trying to figure out the ways to certify and feel qualified or validated before I would move on things.
Absolutely. I think for me, I'm always like, how am I going to, I used to always think, how am I going to sound? How are people going to perceive this? Should I say, because my biggest thing was speaking up in meetings, speaking up in big settings, asking a question like, I was at something recently where people were like, okay, so I brought you guys here. So what's the solution? And not wanting to raise my hand first, right? Because I just want to fill out the room. And even though I have what I want to say at the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have just second guessed myself, or I come up with a business idea, but then I'm like, oh, that feels, you know what I mean? We start thinking about the work it's going to take. At least I do. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But man, that's going to take this and this and this. And sometimes it's not what we even think it's going to be, or sometimes it is, but it's worth it.
It's so worth it. And the thing about it is, Brand, is we as, I think as women, I really, really wish we could get better at this because we do such a horrible job of trusting our instinct.
Yes.
And ultimately, we can talk ourselves out of a dream. We can talk ourselves out of our legacy because so much of that is tied to us being able to trust our instinct.
Right.
And we miss it when we disqualify and we tell ourselves that we're not enough or, so-and-so's better at it They might be good at what they're doing, but that doesn't mean that what's unique to our DNA isn't essential as well.
Yes. That, you know what? I think that is what, why we second guess things most of the time, because we're comparing.
Yep.
Am I going to sound like them? Am I going to do it the way they did it? We kind of start, we just compare. We start thinking about how the other person would do it, or am I going to sound this way, or am I going to sound to this or to that? And the moment we just start going with our instinct, oh my goodness. Or sometimes, like, I don't know if you guys, but I've seen people at I'm a lot better about this now, but I used to be horrible about it. I would see somebody at a meeting that I knew I wanted to meet, like Elon Musk, for example, but I haven't seen him yet. But I would be like, oh my God, there's Elon Musk. And I'm like, okay. What'd you say?
I said, don't scare his security team when you roll up on him.
Right. Right. But sometimes I go like, oh my goodness, there's Elon Musk. But what am I going to say? Like, do I have anything to say that sounds smart? You know, like, and so then I second guess myself and lose out on that opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like, that we're not good enough at what we are, what we do, or what we say, or that we're not going to be loved, meaning people are not going to value. That keeps us from speaking up. It keeps us from moving forward on an idea. It keeps us from trusting to love, and it just keeps us from making decisions that we should be so confident and assured in. And it leaves us in these boxes. And I promise you, Brandis, this is going into my best-selling book that's coming out. I'm not going to put a year on that, but it's coming. It's going into my book. Mm-hmm. We do this thing where we normalize the extraordinary parts of ourselves. That instinct, that DNA, that gut, that intuition. Every single one of us has a guiding light. And we normalize that when we start looking around and trying to make it relative to the next person. It was never meant to be like the next person's.
Ever.
It was supposed to be our specific instinctive guiding light. If mine was like yours, I would be working deeply in fashion. That's not where I'm supposed to be. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Mine is taking me on a different path. Yours is taking you on a different path. And if we trust our guiding light, our intuition enough, we won't second guess when it comes time for us to do these extraordinary things. And we would stop normalizing this extraordinary gift that we have in our intuition.
That's so true.
We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, great girlfriends, we're inviting you to join us for the 2019 Doers and Disruptors Conference, June 13th through the 15th in New York City. This 3-day event includes exciting receptions, life-changing panels, incredible mastermind groups, connections, and more. This year, we had over 100 great girlfriends from around the world connect with like-minded women and create incredible memories. Now, it's your turn to be a part of this exclusive event. Visit our website, www.thegreatgirlfriendsconference.com, to grab an early bird ticket for yourself and your greatest girlfriend. We cannot wait to see you there.
Sybil, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the last thing that you've second guessed?
The last thing that I second guessed? Oh my goodness. I'm acting like it wasn't last month. The last thing that I second guessed, and that literally it wasn't last month, it was last year, was my guiding light, God instinctively, telling me or showing me that I'm meant to be an on-air paid personality, a TV personality.
Yes.
I took that and I was like, no, wait, I can't stand video. I would never, I'm not interested in this, that, and the other, X, Y, and Z. I'm not a 20-something year old journalism student. I haven't worked in media. I've worked in branding my career, X, Y, and Z. These are some of the things that I told myself. And I started looking around and I started normalizing in my head. And I wasn't ready to put myself out there in that way because I felt more safe in the zone that I've been in. In the careers I've been in, and even hiding behind a podcast, like fully wearing pajamas and recording a podcast works for me.
Right.
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 So much of that, but I know what I heard, and I know that it's part of my legacy to create influence in media, and that I have to pursue it. And so I had to put aside some things that I was working on last year to focus on getting a reel together and creating pitches for television and preparing myself.
Right. I love that.
And it doesn't mean doing the thing that you feel you're or where you are. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that there's a road that you need to take a turn onto that's going to guide you towards another road, towards another road. It's a leading, it's called a journey. And
Yes.
it's part of our journey to walk into this intuition, to follow the guiding light so that we can hang our star. It's not meant for us to shelf our star and put it on a bookshelf and pretend that we don't have this significant contribution that we're supposed to make.
That's so true. I love that.
What was the last thing you second guessed? Oh no, I think you told us.
Well, I think, well, I'll bring up another example. I wanted to DM someone,
Mm.
and it was someone who does not know me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know I'm sure if we dug deep enough, we would have some connections in common. But I just love the way they moved and thought that I could really gain a lot of wisdom from some of the things that they had done before. And I was like, should I send this DM? Like, and it was a guy, so I didn't want him to think that I was like sliding in his DMs, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I kind of like, questioned myself for a minute, but I end up sending it and they responded within like 10 minutes. And so I was like, dang, what else am I leaving on the table? Because I've like second guessed myself and talked myself out of it before I actually did it.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. And look at that. The thing about it is on my end, because I've learned how to jump into DMs, I'm like, it's just a DM.
It's just a
But
DM.
but I understand what it feels like because you're putting yourself out there, and the idea sometimes of perception, how we can be perceived when we put ourselves out there, is intimidating. It
Yeah.
is very intimidating.
It is, and that's usually, honestly, if you think about why we normally second guess, introducing ourselves to someone or going to make a new friend and introducing ourselves at some kind type of a conference or making the phone call or sending the email or whatever it is. Usually, it's because we're worried about how we're going to be perceived. You just,
Hmm.
what is it? Hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yep,
That's
completely.
really the whole reason we second guess ourselves. I'm not
Mhm.
going to go for this promotion because, they're going to think X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're going to think I'm too ambitious or that I'm not
Right.
happy in the role I'm in. You're
Right.
not happy. You are ambitious. You want more, as everyone else does, and that's okay.
It's
You know,
so true.
they're actually thinking the right thing about you. This role that you're in is not satisfying your desire and your need right now, and your ambition level is taking you higher, and you do need to step outside of that box you're in and ask for that money that you know you're worth because you know you will deliver. Stop second
Absolutely.
guessing, right?
Yep.
This relationship is not working for you. You feel unhappy. You don't feel like you're getting the love you deserve, but you're wondering if you're too old to start over. You're not too old to start over. That man is not serving you in the way that he needs to. He doesn't want to show up for you in the way that you need to be served. So you need to give yourself permission to leave this relationship and make room for something new and fresh that will be rewarding and fortifying to your life, right?
Absolutely.
That apartment is too small. You've been needing to move.
Right.
You need to move. You
Right.
need to move. It's time. I know you've been there a long time and the rent is favorable and it's right near the train. But guess what? You want more. You want more amenities. You work hard and you want a different quality of life. You need to stop second guessing and you need to take the next step. Who said you wanting more means you have to pay more? Who said that?
Who said it?
Where do we build these ideas that us wanting more means that it's going to cost us more sacrifice? Sometimes it gives us more reward than it does sacrifice. Sometimes the reward is waiting. Like the reward is the lowest hanging fruit. It's right in front of us. But we have to step outside of that box and stop second guessing and stop trying to pretend that our desires don't need to be met. They do need to be met.
It's so true. Sometimes it's a phone call. We have these instincts. Man, let me just call her and say I'm sorry. Let me just call them and check on them. And then we talk ourselves
Yes.
out of it. Let me just call and say that I was wrong. Let me, you know what I mean? Like, we talked about, but love is not a fairy tale. Like, some of that is, I need to go ahead and call him to apologize. And then we'd be like, wait a minute, he just did that. Why apologizing? Right? You second guess yourself real fast. You're like, no, I'm not calling. And you miss out on an opportunity for a peaceful evening.
That's right. That's right. So how do we stop second guessing, Brandis? Step 1.
Wow, I feel like it's so easy, but
Liz would say so. Liz is the therapist, y'all. Y'all have heard about Liz many episodes in, but Liz would say, I can hear Liz in my head.
What would she say?
Oh my gosh. Liz would say, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Yes.
You have to. I could hear my session, and I was so mad at Liz because I was like, give me 10 steps to this. And Liz was like, let it go.
Let it go.
You have to stop. You have to let. And I was like, no, I want to hold on. And Liz was like, no.
Yeah. Well, number 1, let it go.
You can't steal Liz's.
I stole Liz's. So mine is number 2. I think number 2 is realize that we live one life. Like, we don't, what is it? Somebody said, well, actually, we live every day and we die once, right? So we live every day. So we get an opportunity every single day. So even if, I'm going to say number 2 is, even if you second guess yourself, you have an opportunity to go back and do it. Yeah. And so you know that there's a second chance because you're still breathing. So even when you do second guess yourself, you can go back and fix it. You can go back and do it again. You can go back. Now, you don't always have that opportunity, because if I'm in a room with Elon Musk once, it doesn't mean I'm going to be in a room with Elon Musk twice. So I might have missed that opportunity with Elon Musk. But maybe the next time I'm in a room with Barack Obama, so it's like, even if you miss the opportunity one time, like, make sure it's not something that you repeatedly do.
Absolutely. So true. So true. So next to that for me would be understanding that it's okay to be imperfect, to make mistakes. And I think that when we give ourselves permission to make mistakes, we pardon ourselves for everything we've done wrong in the past, because we realized we were human and that we were going to make mistakes. Not the ones we planned on making, but the ones that we happen to make, the real ones.
Right.
That once we pardon ourselves and forgive ourselves for all the times that we made those mistakes in the past, those times that we wish we could have done things different, that make us apprehensive and keep us from wanting to make new decisions, it gives us the freedom to operate imperfectly. Because we can just say everything's in beta. This is my first iteration of this choice that I'm about to make, and it is not going to be perfect.
Absolutely. It's
not going to be perfect, and I'm going to do my best at it. So I'm not going to second guess anymore, because I recognize I made mistakes before. So this time when I do trust myself, I'm going to trust myself to make the decision imperfectly, still making the decision, but making it imperfectly.
Yes.
It don't have to be perfect. It's just a decision. It doesn't have to be the most perfect, brilliant, remarkable decision. It has to just be the choice to do it.
Yes.
Like when Nike says, just do it, start running. They didn't say start out a marathon runner. Just put on a shoe and jog up the street.
Just jog up the street. You are so right.
Run to the mailbox. We want to make it so perfect. And that slogan looks so perfect. But think about that slogan and how loaded it is with opportunity to do it however it needs to get done in the moment.
That's so good, Sib. I really feel like I have nothing on top of that, Sybil, because that is like the idea that in the permission, giving yourself permission to make mistakes, it then takes away like being worried about how people are going to perceive you, or if I had
the
any number
to say things right.
Yeah, if I had any number 4, it would be to run your own race on top of do it, because when you're doing your own thing and you're running your own race, like, you don't have time to actually think about compare yourself to how this person would do it, or you don't have time to think about how this person is going to perceive me, because you're just running your own race. And in your own race, you're going to make mistakes. Like, That's it's right. hard. Like, there's no one who gets to be exempt from making any mistakes. And it's how we grow. And I mean, I could go on and on about your number three, Sybil, being okay with making mistakes, because that really is the crux of all of it.
Yeah.
That's why we second guess ourselves, because we don't want to make a mistake. And then we're forfeiting like all of these great opportunities. There's this, in that book, there's this one guy who was saying that he had an opportunity to speak to someone who was really high up in his company. Maybe it was the CEO or the COO, and he didn't do it, right? So he missed that opportunity. He second guessed himself. It was a great opportunity. They saw each other in the hallway. He didn't talk to him. Then it just so happened he was out riding his bike, and he sees this same CEO or COO. And he finally decides, he said, this is my second chance. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to second guess myself. So he stops, and the guy had on earphones and everything. You know, it's hard to get somebody's attention when they got on earplugs.
Yeah.
But he got his attention, had a conversation with him, end up being able to share his thoughts on some things that were going on in the company. The guy ended up connecting him with someone else in the company. He ended up getting a promotion, moving into a new department, and now built this new relationship with this guy who was like one of the top execs in the company. All from not second guessing himself.
Yeah. See that? Wow. How powerful is that?
And
such a perfect example.
We have ideas on how we can make a company better, or how we can make a situation better, or how we can make the company more money or whatever. And we just, I'm not going to bring that up. They probably already thought about that.
Right.
I'm sure somebody's thought about that. There's some reason why they're not doing it.
Yeah. But and continually forsaking the idea that what we bring to the table is still added value.
Absolutely.
What we bring to the table is added value. In the world, how many is my number that far off? There's like there's billions of people in the world who all add value in their own way.
Yes.
At their own time. And so we have to be willing to understand that we are not in a race or competition with anyone else. Our added value comes when we position our voices, at the right time, in the right way to add value.
Wow. I love it.
Right timing, right? So no second guessing.
No second guessing.
So who's out there listening that's going to put us on television? That's what I want to know.
There's someone out there listening. They're like, dang, they need their own show. This is good. This is good content.
I'm going to start singing, come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. Call us. Ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're working on our diction, and Brandis was practicing last week. Hi. Yes. Hi.
Yeah,
so we're ready.
We're ready. We are
We're
ready.
not second guessing.
Absolutely not. We're ready. So, and we got a phone
so
call tomorrow that might be that. So let's see.
Let's see. Hey. Meanwhile, while we're out here working and twerking and getting ourselves prepared for television and other forms of media, don't forget to get your ticket to the conference, the greatgirlfriendsconference.com. I promise you, best ticket ever purchased, hands down.
Best ticket.
Best ticket. All right. We'll catch you girlfriends next week. Have a great week.
We love y'all.
Love you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Great Girlfriends.
Yes, if you enjoyed this episode, please share this with 3 of your great girlfriends.
Absolutely. And make sure you jump onto iTunes right now and leave your review. Let the world know how you feel about our 5-star show.
Absolutely. And we like to end our episodes by thanking our husbands.
Thank you, Kwaku.
Thank you, Mr. Rich Daniel.
And then we thank the minis. Thank you, Sam and Dylan.
And thank you to Miss Sky.
And thank you, great girlfriends, for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Make sure you listen each Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Bean, Podcast Republic, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and every other podcasting service.
Yes, and please check us out on our social. You can follow us on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on Twitter,
_GreatGFS,
on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
And please do join our Facebook group with over 16,000 great girlfriends.
Yay!
And that is
The Great Girlfriends.
Awesome.
Make sure you post your questions online, share with your friends.
Keep listening
and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
And we're signing off. Peace.